Hey guys, Pastor Phil here again with the next edition of Morning Pursuit. This series that we're in is called The Warrior's Creed, as we look at men and women of the Bible that display a warrior-like faith in their pursuit of God. And it's based on 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3 that says, "You therefore must endure hardship as a good soldier of Jesus Christ." It's not always easy to be one of God's chosen people, to stand up and to go public with that. In fact, maybe you've been challenged with that recently, where you've been fearful of identifying as a Christian or going public, letting people know that you're a follower of Jesus Christ. Well, you're not alone. In the Old Testament, there was a queen named Esther, and Esther was part of a Jewish family that had been carried away captive from the Jewish nation, and she was living there in the Persian kingdom. And by circumstances, she had been chosen through her wisdom and through God working to become the next queen of the people of the Persians and the Medes. But her identity as a Jewish lady was still hidden. Now, when a powerful official within that kingdom, the kingdom of Persia, he hatched a plot to kill all of the Jews in the nation. And Esther at that point faced this decision: either identify herself as a Jewish woman and come to the rescue of her people, or live for herself and maintain her silence and just let things happen, let her people perish, basically. And there was a law in the Persian kingdom that no one could approach the king and talk to him unless he had scheduled an appointment with them, basically, and was going to allow them to come in. Esther knew that, and she knew that to step into the king's presence and to plead for an audience with the king without having set that up would be death to her. That was what the law stated. Knowing this, we read in Esther chapter 4, verse 13 and 14 says this: "And Mordecai," that's Esther's guardian or uncle, "told them to answer Esther, 'Do not think in your heart that you will escape in the king's palace any more than all the other Jews. For if you remain completely silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. Yet who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?'" Esther realized that everything that had happened in her life had set her up for this moment. She could either make herself available to God and step out in faith to serve Him and to save her people, or she could stay silent and not do anything at all. What about you, my friends? What about your life? Have you stepped out in faith to identify yourself as one of God's chosen people, as a Christ follower in your school, in your workplace, or in your family? Have you made yourself available for such a time as this? You see, for Esther, it all came down to that moment. And Esther chose to step out by faith and to put it all on the line and to approach the king to plead for her own life and the life of her people. What will you choose? 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9 tells us that God is actually looking for someone who will show themselves loyal to Him. It says, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show Himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to Him." Guys, the Lord is looking for those who will stand for Him, who will publicly say, "Hey, I'm one of God's chosen people. I'm a Christ follower." Have you done that? That is the warrior's heart. That is the warrior's creed for today.